Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, and it is a miraculous Monday because last week a lot of things happened that this was in the works, this was in the works, this was in the works. Things are coming to be, things are finalizing. And yesterday I got to walk into Miss Evelyn's house, and I told y'all a year ago I saw Miss Evelyn probably.
We closed August the 3rd.
Yes, we're on a year anniversary.
Yes.
We're on a year anniversary. She bought a house that nobody else could imagine doing what you've done. And yesterday when I walked in her kitchen, I went, wow, wow, wow. And then I walked in her laundry room and I went, wow. And then I walked in her bathroom and I went, wow. You know? And it's crazy. And you're about 2/3 of the way finished?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we just have so many customized stuff that I wanted to do, and it's taking longer. Mm-hmm. But the majority of the stuff is done.
It's done, yeah. And it looks so good.
Yeah.
And the one thing that you're going to change, and I can't wait to see this because I don't quite know the concept of, you're going to take that little front porch and you're going to make it a wraparound porch?
No, we just kind of extend it to the other end of the house and make it wider. Yeah.
So it's a usable rather than just something you step on.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing she did, and this was for me, I'm sure you paved that driveway just for me. Because every time I would go there, I would complain about her driveway and say, I hate this driveway. I can't stand this driveway.
Yeah.
And then I pulled up and she's paved the driveway, and I was so excited.
And we're about to get the other one done. Like so people are like, why do you have two driveways? I don't know.
You do.
We just have two driveways.
You do. But I saw Alberto today, who is our dear friend, who's doing some work for you, and he's a precious, precious soul. And I actually sold him. One of the things I'm lucky enough to do is I have your vision, and we both see a diamond in the rough. And I sold Alberto a piece of property. You actually had a backup offer on it.
Yeah.
And it was really, really, really rough.
Yes.
Really, really, really
I didn't even recognize it when we went the other day. I was like, oh, wow.
And now Alberto has created this beautiful home, and not only transformed the home into a beautiful home, he took a little tiny barn, and he's making it the cutest little thing. I would live there. It is so cute. Mm-hmm. And it's just somebody having an imagination. And that's something that we often miss.
Yeah.
So if you've been out this weekend, you've been home hunting, you've been looking, you've been thinking, and you're going, well, that house just needs too much work. Let me tell you, in the near future, you're going to get to see start to finish of Evelyn's product. And when you started this journey 1 year ago, we are celebrating the anniversary of the day you said, put my name on the dotted line, I'm going to buy this place in Ball
And Scotty didn't even see it. Yeah. We bought this house, and Scotty didn't even see the house. He was like, what are we doing? I was like, we're buying a house.
In Ball Ground.
In Ball Ground, yeah.
And this morning you put your son on his first day to middle school.
Middle school, yeah. Yeah, so we're excited.
You know, that's weird because you were in your home in Ackworth for what, 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
Okay, so for 10 years, it's new transition, it's for you, for your children, and are you becoming part of the community immediately?
I mean, I love it here. I talk to everybody, like, I'm not shy.
And it is so cool because there's so many really nice people moving to the area. Mm-hmm. And I didn't tell you about this, but I met a lady from Yugoslavia on Saturday, because as I was making my little food delivery to the little old widow women, I stopped and I told her, I said, I've always admired your yard. It's so beautiful. And we started talking and visiting, and she's actually has been in the United States since she was 22.
Oh, wow.
And she has lived in Mountain Brook for 4 years. But she grew up from 22 until now in Chicago. And so
big city.
said, you know about good pizza? She said, yes, I do. Yes, I do. So I'm seeing the city that I love, Ball Ground, becoming everybody's melting pot. You're from Peru. She's from Yugoslavia. The people next door to Vicky are from Texas. The other people from
everywhere.
Kansas. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, but we are an amazing melting pot of wonderful people who chose to live in the North Georgia mountains.
Mm-hmm.
And really cool.
And I live in big towns before, and I like it, but then I was like, I think it's time to go to a small town. And I like it. I love it here.
And you
Yeah.
spent some time at Carter's Lake this weekend.
Yes.
Yes. And
We
is
went
that
to
not
Carter's Lake.
awesome?
It was good. Yeah.
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 Everybody
I
needs
feel
it.
bad that Kaden couldn't go in the water though, but
I know.
Yeah.
And we have to tell you, Caden had a little accident last week, and it was like everybody was just flipping out because he got cut pretty badly.
bad.
And you had to go to 3 different urgent cares before you could get somebody who could sew it up.
Yeah.
But, you know, his first day of school, he's walking in there, he's got his legs sewn up with stitches. Kids are going to be going, what's that on your leg?
Yeah.
What's that on your leg? So here he has to answer all these questions.
Yeah, Kayla, actually, my daughter was saying, and I said, "That's your first tattoo?" And I was like, "No, it's not."
No.
He's like, "That's gonna stay in your leg forever." And he was like, "Is it?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, y'all were moving in, getting stuff up. He got cut. And you learn quickly that you have to go to urgent care and you find one till they can accept
Yeah,
you. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, this weekend, the mules left Old
I
Dawsonville Road.
know. It's so sad.
And progress is in the works and things are going to be changing, but it is time for change. And my friend Vicki came up with a great slogan, and it says, preserving the past, embracing the future. And I think that's what we're all doing. I think people who are moving to the tiny towns from McKaysville to Mineral Bluff to Blue Ridge, I think they are preserving the past, the good part of the past, and they are embracing the future.
Yep.
And we see it in the grocery stores. You know, I walk in a grocery store and I know everybody, but then I walk in the grocery store and I'm going, I don't know who that is. I don't know who they are. Who are they? I don't know them.
Yeah, they're moving.
Yeah, people are moving in.
Yeah.
People are moving in. And we have seen this now. Scotty is not a local country boy. He's from Chicago, isn't he? Yeah.
He's from Chicago.
Yeah. So it's so weird. And Scotty's like a good old boy from, you would think he's from Ludville, Georgia.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ludville, she flipped a house in Ludville. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, y'all.
Last year. No. Yeah, 2 years ago. We
Yes,
sold it last
2 years
year.
ago. 2 years
Yeah.
ago. And it was so funny because the first time I told her where it was, she said, where? I said, Ludville. What is that?
Yeah.
So I had to take her out there, and you had to go 3 or 4 trips before you finally figured out Ludville is a development
Yeah.
in West Pickens County. So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But you fit in and you fall in love with the people and you enjoy things. And one of the things I loved that you shared with your friends from Marietta when y'all came up hiking before you moved to Ball Ground, you went hiking to the 50-acre walking trail.
Yeah.
And you loved it.
Oh, I love hiking. I love that place. Yeah.
And it's free.
It is.
It's free.
Yeah.
And it's there because the city of Ball Ground made it there. And it's like if you go up on Aska Road in the Blue Ridge area, there's so many free places to go hiking.
Yeah, everywhere.
So
yeah.
it's amazing. North Georgia is open for business, but then also there's so many things that you can do with your family that don't cost you any money.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. Now, are we going to tell people why you got on that shirt?
Because I'm cold.
She was cold, and we're fixing to paint. See, so she's going
I'm ready.
to paint her now. But when we came in today, we brought our paint and the color, and we're going to paint these walls, and then soon you're going to see a different transition in the set. And it's because I just kept saying, I just want it to feel warm and friendly. I don't want it to feel stark and businesslike. I want people to feel comfortable,
Yeah.
you know. And it's like when you design a home, you want people to walk in and say, this just feels like home.
Yeah.
And I think that's always been my plan.
More homey.
Yeah, you want people to come in and feel comfortable. And, you know, being on television, sometimes people get nervous and they get upset. And I said, well, just pretend you're sitting at the kitchen table. And that's what I've always told everybody. Just pretend you're sitting at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Well, if we were sitting at the kitchen table, we'd have some cinnamon rolls and a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So maybe we ought to add that to the
where are my
set.
rolls?
Yeah,
My
we need
coffee.
to
I
add
don't drink
that to the
coffee.
set. Yeah, we do. This weekend, I was looking at things to do in the North Georgia mountains, and guess what? Hiawassee, the fair, is coming back. I believe it starts on August the 13th.
Yeah, really.
And I want y'all to put that on your itinerary. You need to be in Hiawassee on the 13th, and you know Miss Hilda's going to send me some tickets that we're going to be able to give away. So I will have them in the next few days, and I'll be giving tickets away. We'll probably be doing a contest on Facebook. And for these $12 tickets, you get in, you get to park, you get to ride, you get to shop, you get to eat, and you get to go to concerts. There are all kinds of things to do at the North Georgia, the area from Hiawassee, Blairsville, Blue Ridge. There's something to do along the way, and then you get to the fairgrounds, and literally $12 covers your parking, covers the concerts. There'll be all kinds of food in there that you can eat, from anything from mountain trout to corn dogs to amazing ice cream.
Kayla's been asking for the turkey leg.
Yes, well, you gotta go.
Yeah,
You gotta go, and it
excited
starts, I believe
turkey
it's
leg.
August the 13th. And then on October the 2nd, the clogging convention is going to be there. Now, I love clogging. Do you know what clogging is?
No idea.
It's a form of dance it's country people always had groups that they had clogging groups. And so this weekend, we were looking, and I found some old footage, and I'm going to see if during the commercial break the guys can download some of this. It was on my Facebook page. And we're going to share this clogging, because in the clogging of the Dixie Express, when they have on the green and yellow outfits, these are Jasper residents who still today,
Dancing.
they love to clog. These are my generation, or a little bit younger now. But then all the kids had clogging. So I've reached out to another group down in Woodstock to see if we could recreate a clogging program just for a special, because clogging makes you feel good, the music sounds great, it's energetic, it's a great form of exercise, and it just makes you happy. So on October the 2nd, mark your calendars. The Georgia Clogging Convention is going to be at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds, and I can't wait. I've never been able to clog in my life, but my kids can.
Oh, really?
And I love to watch Dawn. Dawn could teach clogging, and Sheila Davis, I know she's out there watching. She gave clogging lessons up here in Cherie Log. There's so many people who had clogging groups in these mountains. Well, the groups are gone now. And so the people who taught Dawn, they're gone. Sheila, gone. Nobody has clogging groups anymore. But I did find a group down in Woodstock, and we hope to have them with us in the near future, because clogging is part of our Appalachian heritage. And it's one of those things, when you watch it, you get tired watching it. When you watch it, you'll get tired. You'll be going, I need a nap. These people, this is the most energetic thing. So everybody's into all these exercise classes they take. Honey, you don't have to take exercise, just clog a little bit. And my Aunt Bessie, precious, my grandmother's sister, could buck dance, and she loved buck dance. And I think about all these traditions from the South, some of them are going away. And people who've moved into this area who've never seen clogging, you're going to get to see that today, because we're going to share it with everybody. When I posted it on my Facebook page, there's actually some footage of Freddie's uncle Donis, and he was on a national television program, and he had a great group of cloggers with him, and I would just sit and watch. I'm mesmerized by it, because I can't do it. And you know, you get fascinated by something you can't do. I can't clog. Number one, I have no rhythm. I have no rhythm at all.
And your foot is not good.
My foot's not good, so,
Yeah.
so I can't imagine. But we're going to share a little bit of that with y'all in the program coming up. But right now, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're also going to share something with you that just, it offers a little bit of music, some beautiful flowers, some beautiful scenery. Right now, from now until fall, this is the prettiest time in the world to get out in these mountains and get to know these mountains. And you could go Mineral Bluff, you could go
Helen, Georgia.
Helen, Georgia.
Oh.
You could go to any of the new restaurants that are opening. You can get out, and there's so much you can do within a hour drive, truly, of Atlanta. So if you're sitting in Atlanta and you want to get out of there and you want a big escape, we are the place to escape. So we hope that you'll do that. Also, if you go out 52 East here in LJ, the apples, oh my gosh, apple season is upon us, and it is amazing. And if nothing else, if you go out there and get you a bunch of fried pies and take them back to your office on Monday, the people you work with will love you forever. So do that. But we want you to get out and get to know these beautiful mountains that we serve. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back shortly.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Georgia Medical Treatment Center now has 2 locations to bring you the high-quality holistic care you've come to know and expect. We treat neck, back, and joint pain with chiropractic care and injection-based treatment without the need for surgery or prescription painkillers. Our medical weight loss program can also provide relief while ridding your body of toxins, pounds, and inches while improving your overall health. Call today for a free consultation, 770-345-2000, or go online to georgiamtc.com. Whether it's memories of your first trip to the local Dairy Queen or your daily visit for a $5 lunch special, the Jasper Dairy Queen has been a part of the community for over 40 years. Locally owned and operated, Jasper DQ is the place where specialty items often become favorites. Burgers, shakes, chicken tenders with yummy dip and gravy, and don't forget the rings and fries. Celebration cakes are always fresh and fast and include the awesome Blizzard cake. Stop by where folks are always meeting and eating, 515 at Highway 53. Just follow the crowd to the Dairy Queen.
ATC knows the internet is evolving, taking new twists and turns. As we add our input, make our choices, and follow the light that connects us all. It's quite a journey, one to experience with the fastest speeds available. Contact ATC. Connect to the internet speed that suits your journey, and enjoy the ride.
How great friends, this is Randall Franks. Fiddling and clogging are two elements that often go together, and I found that especially true in my early career as I traveled on the Bluegrass Festival circuit and working many bluegrass shows. We often had cloggers who appeared on the shows. Here is the Dixie Express Cloggers, a favorite among audiences because they would perform with acts playing live music. With my Peachtree Pickers.
Down yonder, y'all have a good day.
To mention something that's a favorite to all of us here in the South, and that's some good old country music.
Oh, I know about country music. You need a guitar, you need boots, you need blue jeans, you need hay.
No, I'm talking banjos, fiddles, cloggers, and
I'm
bluegrass.
ready. I'm ready for it.
Okay, then, here's the Clogging Company and the Mountain View Bluegrass Band.
Here they are. Let me be your solid dog, or I won't be your man at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Look at your style, I know you a run-down stocking and a wore-out shoe. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Let me be your solid dog, or I won't be your man at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Down in the wild, we're sitting on a log, a finger on a trigger and an eye on a hog. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Let me be your solid dog, or I won't be your man at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog. I pulled the trigger and the gun let go. The shot fell over in ball ground. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Let me be your solid dog, or I won't be your man at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog. Let me be your solid dog, or I won't be your man at all. Honey, let me be your solid dog.
I love it. Now I'm worn out. I'm going to take a nap. Okay, when we think about the future, we are looking at housing prices higher than they've ever been, interest rates lower than they've been for many, many years. It's a great time to buy, and it's a horrible time to buy. And it's a worse time to build because the cost of lumber is, you were telling me prices about hardy plank, which is up $3 a plank in just a few months.
Yeah.
What's going to happen, Evelyn, with the building crisis? Are you seeing some of the guys that you were flipping houses for, they kind of on hold?
Yeah, I mean,
until the material goes down?
Well, first of all, we cannot find anything to flip because everything is in the 200s.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what can you do with $200,000, and then you have to put up 60, 80
Right.
100
And a
and
year's
sell
worth
it
of
for
work
what?
in it,
Yeah, and then you have
yeah.
to think about commission and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and it's not worth it.
No, and then
It's
what
not
if
worth
the
it.
economy were to drop in the period of time that you're working on it? So
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a scary
yeah,
time.
it's risky, it's scary, but I mean,
It is what it is.
Yeah.
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 Well, we always said one of the first lessons we learned in real estate is location, location, location. And I
Yeah.
tell everybody, I can't change where this house is sitting, but I can help you remodel it.
Yeah.
I can help you even tear it down if you want to. We
Yeah.
can paint it, we can restore it, but I can't do anything about the location.
Yeah.
So if you're not wise in your location choice, I think you put yourself at greater risk than anything.
Yes.
So you have to really look at the location you're going.
yeah, yeah.
And I think
schools too have a lot to do.
Oh,
like
sure
if you
it
have
does.
children,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
schools
Now,
are.
you went to Caden's school last week for open house?
Yes,
Were you
on Thursday.
impressed with the school?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I saw the reviews before we moved, and well,
How
after
are
we
they ranked
purchased the
in the
house.
state? How do they?
I don't know. I mean, the reviews are just good. And what I like about Craigland is that they do offer some classes for this. I mean, when you graduate, I guess, high school, you have some skill for carpentry and cosmetology and all that. And I was like, really?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, I mean, it's good. You know, those kids need to learn something else besides just like math and science and all that stuff, because it's like every year is over and over and over. And some kids that like to put their hands into something and learn, so that
Right.
makes it more like, oh, I want to go to school because
Yeah.
you know I have
Yeah.
this class.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really nice that they do have that Craigland. So we'll see.
I think it's very
Yeah.
important. And you know, one of the things that we had that they don't know anymore, I took home economics.
Yeah.
And I learned to cook
Or typing.
or typing.
Even typing, yeah.
I learned to do those things, and now everybody says, well, you don't need to type because everybody has a keyboard and they just learn themselves. Well,
Yeah,
why not
no.
take a typing course?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm glad that they're getting common sense education back in there.
Yeah.
And when I think about wood shop at school, when
Mm-hmm.
my late husband was in school 100 years ago, he had wood shop, and he actually made his daddy something in wood shop that his daddy treasured until the end of his life.
Nice.
And it was just woodwork. Well,
Yeah.
he ended up joining me in my business and doing thousands of pieces of woodwork for me, and it was from the basic knowledge that he learned in school.
Yeah.
So it was just basic knowledge. He didn't ever go to a big carpenter college. He didn't
Yeah.
ever, he just learned the basic knowledge.
Yeah.
And then he transformed that into, he said, how much are you paying that guy to make that stuff? And I told him, and he said, how much did you spend with him last year? I told him.
Yeah.
He said, well, never mind, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like you and Scotty joining in business.
Yeah.
You have the knowledge to design. He has the knowledge to do it.
Yeah.
Did Scotty learn common sense things? Did he ever go to college to learn all that, or is it common sense?
I mean, he learned it at work. Like he works in like building and heating and air for years, and I think his dad was, helping him. Like, using tools is just to me. Not scared
I'd
using
cut my
tools.
arm off.
Oh yeah, that's what I always like. I see a tool and I'm like, I'm probably gonna cut my head or my leg or something.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna be able to do all the other 100 things that I can do. So I
Leave the
I
tools
remove
alone.
that. Yeah, I'm like, no. I will make my list of what it needs to be done and how I wanted it. But I can do painting, I can do sanding and all that stuff. But like using those tools, I'm like,
No.
not yet.
No,
Not yet. Yeah.
And one of the things that I'm very, I'm like nervous about tile work, because I'm like, tile work has to be so perfect.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things. I was talking to Nick about it one day, and I said, how do you know how to tile that man's bathroom?
Yeah.
And he said, I learned on YouTube. And
Yeah.
I said, are you kidding me? And he said the other day he was outside working, building a deck, and he said, now you know why I love plumbing so much? I said,
Yeah.
why? He said, I'd rather be under the house in the cold, in the plumbing, than out here in the heat doing this
Yeah.
deck,
Yeah.
So plumbing is one of those things. You're always going to pick up the phone and call a plumber. If your
Yeah.
toilet isn't working, the plumber's going to get a phone call.
Yeah.
You always
your
need
water
a plumber.
heater.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that's one of those things that I think if they taught that in school, if they taught a little bit of plumbing, a little bit of heat and
electrical
air,
work,
electrical.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's great that Creekland's doing that.
Yeah.
Now, was Caden nervous this morning, or was he excited?
I think
'Cause
he
he
was
knows
okay.
nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's pretty. I think my 2 kids are like me. Like they're really open. They're not shy, and I don't know. He just worries too much about like how many friends I'm gonna make, or
Yeah.
you know, and all that stuff. And I was like, Kaden, you're fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, he made a friend, and then we asked him for the name, and he was like, I don't remember. I was like, all right. Yeah, I was like, okay, that's a good way to make friends. So I was like, did you ask like his name? And he's like, no. I was like, okay, that's fine. But I mean, he will do good. I mean,
Yeah.
he's really open. He's not shy. He's really sociable, and I mean, that kid can talk. Like you need to tell him to shut up.
And he was on the swim team.
Yeah.
Does Creekland have a swim team?
I don't know. I'm looking for a place. I found one in Commons, but I don't know how far from where we are now
25 miles.
to what this place is. But also they do have one in Woodstock that might be the one that I'm taking him. But yeah.
Well, there's a YMCA in
Yeah.
Canton, but I don't know if they have a
I
swimming
don't like the
class.
way. Yeah, I
Okay.
never liked YMCA. I don't know why. I always like the. I don't know. I just have a. Maybe I heard some bad stories about YMCA that
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
So
like
you
it.
want your kids to
Yeah.
be in something you're
Yeah,
happy
I
with.
feel
Yep,
comfortable.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
And now you have a project that's 2/3 of the way finished.
Yeah.
You've moved into it. And are there things that you would have done differently now? Because you were the design team, Scotty was the workhorse, and
Yeah.
now are there things that you would have changed? Are there things you would have done differently?
Probably, but I think I'm pretty content where everything or how everything is
Do you want to tell
falling
them the
into
biggest
place.
luxury item you got out of the house that your husband is still scratching his head going, you want what?
The what?
The pot filler.
Oh yeah.
This is hysterical, y'all. This girl does not cook. She doesn't cook. She doesn't like
Yeah.
to cook. She doesn't want to cook.
Yeah.
She's not interested
I
in cooking.
cook, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I just like.
But you used to cook a lot.
I used to cook a lot
And your
every
kids didn't eat.
single day, and my kids will complain. I don't want this. This is too cold. This is too this, and for years I kind of like suck it up, and I was like, okay, just eat it. And it's not because it was bad. It tasted good. And then I got tired of it, and one day, like, Scotty was like, why you don't cook anymore? And I was like, because nobody eats it, and you come late, this kid is already 8, and this one doesn't want to eat, so I'm just like, I'll cook for my dogs.
But I walked in her house in her brand new kitchen, and I looked, and I said, what is that? And she said, I have a pot filler. And I said, why?
So I can boil some water.
That's the trendy thing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
And where did that trend come from? It's so weird
I don't
to me.
know. I just saw it on Instagram on one of the posts that I follow, and I was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Looks cool." So I told
now you
Scotty
have one.
when he was doing the shiplap in the kitchen, I was like, "Don't forget to do my pot filler," and he was like, a what? So I show him a picture, and I say, I already ordered it. It's here. So I show him the box, and he's like, oh, this is pretty cool. But, I mean, I think
So
it's just
you
going to be
want
there
it-
for decoration.
Yeah, and it is trendy.
Yeah, it is.
Very
It is.
trendy. So,
It is really cool. Yeah.
Okay, if
But-
you walk into a house today and you're going to list it, I always tell people the 2 most important rooms are the kitchen and the bathrooms.
Bathrooms, yes.
Kitchen and bathrooms. And are there quick fixes that they can do to, number one, get the most money we can possibly get them out of their house? What are the quick fixes you would suggest?
Well, if they, depending on their budget, like I usually tell people, like, okay, how much do you want to spend? And, you know, some people is like $200, $500, $1,000. Okay, if they don't have granite, spend you $2,000 on your granite. Also, like if they do have those dark kitchen cabinets, paint them white. Or if they cannot paint it, I just say change the knobs, like, you know, the handles and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other thing that I also recommend to do when listing is to like paint all the baseboards. It's cheap. You just paint it white.
Well, perfect example. You and I pulled up to view a house the other day, and the first thing I saw was, oh my gosh, they're going to have an open house, and oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh. And I didn't, I was just like, oh no, that needed to be addressed. And that's one of those things. Because you look at the baseboards,
And it smells fresh.
It smells fresh.
It smells like you just painted it. So people are like, oh, this is freshly painted. And I mean, you will see the difference. It's like, oh, wow, it looks good, right? And then, I just hate when people don't do anything and they have all the clutter in there. You can barely see the cabinets. You can see the countertops or anything.
A book about clutter control.
Oh, I just want to go like, shh. Put it somewhere like,
and we have been known for 11 truckloads came out of one place down at Lenox. 11 truckloads that went away. And when we thought about the day that we showed up there, and we said, okay, this is doable.
Yeah.
We didn't really know. It really wasn't doable. It was a miracle. And we really had a blessing because we had a great buyer.
Yes.
We formed a great team with another agent.
The other realtor was amazing.
It was fantastic.
To work with. Yeah.
So sometimes I really believe that God has helped us progress to a point we have because we have reached out to help people that didn't have anybody else to help them. And been a blessing to us, been a blessing to other people, and I just have to smile because the day we got there, we went, and we were both like, oh, what have we taken on? What were we thinking?
We
Where
couldn't
was my
even see the
brain?
kitchen counters.
No.
Yeah.
But it all turned out miraculously, and I can't wait to see the finished product. Although I told them, I said, I want you to send me pictures because I'm not driving back down there.
Yeah.
So, but even, and I always say you're the master of disaster, and you really are. You see a vision that other people don't see, and sometimes the foundation of a house stops you dead in your tracks, and you don't want to do it because it's massive.
Yeah.
Or maybe something even worse, termite damage, things like that. There's something sometimes that stops you in your tracks. But most of the time, it's something that you can just fix.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things, and my daughter will attest to this since she now is 9 days not smoking. I'm so proud of this kid. 9 days not smoking. When you destroy your most expensive asset with the nicotine walls and it's really, really tough. And you found a product that you can paint. Tell us about that product. It was expensive.
I forgot the name of it. They sell it at Home Depot, but you have to order it online. It's a primer for your walls. They will remove all the stains and smell and everything. When we use it, that was the first time we used it. And because I read the reviews first, and all the reviews were like, oh, this is fantastic. So I was like, okay, we have to use it. I think it was like almost $200.
For 4 gallons.
Yeah. 4 or 5 gallons. And I forgot the name. Like I say, it's like a yellow big sign in it. But anyway, so we put it on our sprayer. We have a big sprayer, and Scotty was spraying the walls with it. And it's like glue. It's like, is literally when you spray it, and it doesn't spray like smooth. It's like literally like you throwing like glue in it, like, and it's clear first.
And did you think something was wrong with it when you first?
Yes, I was like, oh my God! I was like, that's gonna be all sticky now, and then it's not gonna be smooth.
So we've made a worse mess than we have.
Oh yeah. So I was like, oh no. But I mean, when it was all dried, it was all white. So I was like, oh my God, thank God. And it was smooth. It was not sticky anymore. But I mean, great product. Yeah. So I mean, it
literally, because I'm very sensitive to smoke or to pets, and every time I would get to the front porch of that house, I couldn't go in. And it took at least 10 months for y'all to keep on and on and on. And
well, we removed like sheetrock too, and all that stuff, plywood.
It scares me because sometimes I'll show a house, and because my allergies are so bad, I don't even go in that house. I view it the first time, and then I know it affects me. So I let, I say, okay, if you're sensitive, but then now that there's a product that people can use, it doesn't have to scare them off so bad.
Yeah.
Because if you're sensitive, and you have allergies too.
Oh, my allergies are bad.
Allergies,
yeah.
So you're able to live in that house now. But a year ago, it didn't look like you were going to be able to.
No. Yeah, well, first of all, when we bought it, we were more like, oh, we're gonna rent it out, and we were in this very deciding to what to use to put it on the market for rent because, you know, people don't take care of stuff. So we were like buying this material, this other material, and we were like kind of like, oh no, let's do this, let's do that. It's gonna last forever. And then me and Scotty, we were like not on the same page of what to use and all that. And meanwhile, we have piles and piles of material. Oh yeah, we just bought all this and all that. Yeah, we have a storage in our basement right now. But well, right now in the carport, under the carport, because we haven't been able to move it to the garage. But so and then we decided, okay, let's sell the house in Cobb County, and we moved here, and then we started putting everything that it was like how we wanted it, hardwood floors, the tile. We, you know, finished both bathrooms are like brand new. Well, everything in the house is brand new. The kitchen cabinets, the flooring, the subfloors, the walls, the ceiling,
pretty much
everything. Yeah, everything.
And it was truly started out as a financial investment and ended up being your home. Ended up being your home. And the two things that I think I've seen you enjoy the most, the idea that has that little creek beside it.
Oh, I love that.
So you've created a patio and you have a little sitting area down there. I think that was a surprise for you because even though you're so close to downtown, you have this peaceful place.
And you can hear the water. I can hear the water, and in the morning I was like, oh, look.
Listen.
And like, listen, be quiet. And Caden, the other day, he was scared. He was like, what? And I was like, listen to the water. And he was like,
I love it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
And the fact that you could walk to town, you can walk to Calvin Farmer Park. There are things that you can do. And I think those are surprises that you weren't ready for when you bought the house because it was purely an investment. And it turned out to be your home. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
We're like really close to the office too.
It's around the corner from me too, so that's pretty cool. So now we are seeing progress, and we are seeing people moving in, and we are seeing people build. The one thing we're not seeing is enough marketable homes. So we need listings. We need, if you're thinking of moving, but please don't call us until you want to move, because if you call us, we're going to sell it.
It will be under contract the next day.
Yeah, and that's where I have a little issue right now. I have an offer on a place, and we're like, can you be out by this date? It's very scary because a lot of people want to move here. We happen to be from the Tennessee line down to the Cherokee County line. We have people moving from everywhere who really choose and want to live in these country settings. And even though they're small towns, they're country settings because 2 miles from the square here in LJ, it's total country living. And that's what people are looking for. So if you have a home that you'd love to sell, if you're ready to move in with your children, if you're ready to go to a retirement home, if you're ready to go to assisted living, pick up the phone and call us because we are looking. One of the hardest things, you know, we have clients who are looking for at least 5 acres up. They want 5 to 10 acres with a home with at least 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. That's been my challenge for the last 7 months.
Wow,
The budget is $550, so we have a $550 down budget, and we need 5 to 8 to 10 acres and a home. And they don't mind if the home needs work, but that's been my challenge. I can't find what they need. And they still want to stay in their church family in Kennesaw. So we have to be 45 minutes or less to Kennesaw. So if you know of a property, if you're thinking about a property, if you have something that you'd like to sell, we would love to join with you and we would love to sell it. Something else we're really, really proud of, and ETC is going to be a big partner on this. We met with Frankie Rigdon the other day, and we have a new development coming to Ball Ground, and it's going to be amazing homes and townhomes and cottages that will be available for short-term rental for tourists, and that's something that Ball Ground has never had. So that's amazing, and ETC is partnering on this, and ETC will have the exclusive, you'll get the great Wi-Fi. You will get everything you need in a package deal, and that's something that we're really proud of because that's going to bring over 200 homes to a market that they will get our local television, they will get our local services, and when you pick up the phone and call ETC, you talk to somebody in Jasper or LJ. You don't talk to somebody in Minnesota.
The 1-800 number.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's like 253-2271, and hey, this is, well, how are you today? So that's pretty cool. So we've partnered on that, and that means a local company is going to provide services to everybody who moves in. And people are like, you mean y'all do it all? And we said, yeah, you get it all.
Yeah.
You get the Wi-Fi, the TV, you get the phone, all of it. And they're like, really? From one place? Yes. Yes, from one place.
Yeah.
So it's very different. And I think that people are just falling in love with it.
Yep.
From what areas we serve. And now you've got a friend who lives up here in Gilmer County. Doesn't Darby live in LJ?
in LJ.
Okay,
yeah.
and she's from Florida.
She was born in Florida.
Her daddy and I went to school together. Is that not weird?
Yeah.
Is that not weird?
Yes. Yeah.
Long time ago. Long time ago. But she ended up in LJ.
Yeah.
And she absolutely loves it.
She loves it, yeah.
Loves it. And it's one of those things. You grow up a city kid in Florida, and you end up in the mountains, and you fall immediately in love. Mm-hmm. That's what we do.
I mean, she sees bears all the time.
Yeah.
In her backyard. I'm like, I haven't seen them yet.
You will.
Only the videos.
You will.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
You will. And it's so weird because when we go to the grocery store, we do see this blended community of just people from everywhere.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till you meet the little lady from Yugoslavia. She's so funny. She was retired for 3 years. And she said, oh, no, I can't do this retirement thing. She said, I had to go back to work. And my husband was like, why are you going back to work?
Yeah.
And she said, oh, I just can't just stay here. And they have this huge house to clean and this beautiful yard to maintain. But she was bored. You know, her yard is immaculate. Her house is immaculate, but she was bored.
Yeah.
She said, I just need to work.
To do something else.
And so she went to work in the school system.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a job, the school system in Cherokee County is one of the greatest places to work. If you're looking for a job supplementing your income, Gilmer County, Fannin County, they are desperate for school bus drivers. So get an application in. I think some of them even have sign-on bonuses. School is back in play, and that means that they need custodians, they need parapros, they need bus drivers, and the bus drivers are to me, the most valuable commodity because it is their job to transport safely your child to school.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty cool way to make a living, and it's part-time, but it's a full-time commitment, and it's a good way to make some money. You know, Scotty might ought to think about that. And I believe they have insurance.
What?
And a school bus driver in his spare time.
Right?
Yeah.
What, everything else he has to do?
Everything else he does. Yeah.
He says, only one me. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, so why aren't there two of you?
Why don't you drive the school bus too?
Yeah, in your spare time.
Right.
You know, if you're new to the area, I hope you will get out and find out all the precious treasures that are hidden in these mountains. From the Aska, just down the Toccoa River, and just sitting in a peaceful setting to Horseshoe Bend up in McKaysville. That's one of those places. Somebody said, I want to have a small wedding and I don't want to spend a fortune. What could I do? And I said, Horseshoe Bend. It's a beautiful park with a pavilion, and it was built in honor of somebody, and it's just a beautiful pavilion, and all you have to do is reserve it, and you can have your wedding there, and it's beautiful, and it's right on the river. So there's so many things that these mountains offer that don't cost you an arm and a leg, and often people miss those special places. You know, they'll go to McKaysville, but they don't realize that 2 miles out of town is Horseshoe Bend. You can fish, you can picnic, you could hang around, and just absolutely gorgeous area. Have you ever rafted the Ocoee and the Toccoa? Yes.
Yeah.
Did that scare you?
Well, Kayla was just there a couple weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and you know how you're a parent, you want to tell your kids what to do, but they do what they want. So I told her, I say, bring a rope and just have all your friends' tubes attached to it, right? Which they only attach two together, right? So anyway, so they went down this big raft, and she just got out. She fell out. She couldn't come out, right? And she's telling me all this, like, you know, like hours and hours later. And then she like shows me, look, I have a bruise. Her bruise was from here all the way here. And then she's telling me she's under the water. And then her
Mama didn't want to hear.
Her boyfriend and other friend have to go under and pick her up. And then she was like, I was good. It was okay. And I was like,
are you kidding me?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You know.
But again, it brings people from all around the world here to go rafting.
Yeah.
So,
it is pretty. You just need to be careful and be ready for it. I said, take your life jacket, attach your tubes to, you know, everybody, so you cannot all fall. You know, like that's common sense. But anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
A lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Yeah.
Okay. Next time, don't you scare your mama.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do something. When we get off the air today, we're going over here and paint our new set. So we're excited about that. We have 2 small paintbrushes. I hope we get it done. I may have to go buy a
Should
roller.
bring a roller, yeah.
Yeah, we needed a roller. But we're going to get it done, and I hope that you will. I think I'm going to be happier with having a different set, a little bit something different. It's time. It is time. So I have one prayer request I want to share with y'all, and I haven't gotten a status update today, but please, 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 please pray for Dr. Chris Jernigan. I don't know what the status is today. He is a God-fearing, Jesus-loving, wonderful doctor who has put braces on all our kids' teeth for many, many years, and he is in the battle of his life with COVID. So please pray for him and continue to pray for everybody battling cancer. There's so many friends in our community that are facing the battle of their life, and your prayers make a difference. So please pray for them. Evelyn's mom is actually facing cancer right now and taking chemo right now. So please pray for her. She is in Peru. And if Evelyn had her way, she'd be in the U.S., wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So please say a prayer for everybody out there struggling. I'll see you again soon, only on ETC. Bye, y'all.
Got me looking on the bright